Okay, so we are live at the school board meeting, the Whitney ISD school board meeting, where, oh, I didn't get an agenda thing. Okay, so they are pretty much out of agendas. Let me get my computer out. Let me raise this up. This is my battery. It's hooked over the screw thing in a Ziploc bag. There we go. Okay, so we are in the auditorium tonight, not the regular school board room. It's not standing room only, but there are more people here tonight than there usually are. We have a couple of city council candidates here too. So tonight, if you go to Whitney, if you Google Whitney ISD board book, you'll find where they keep all of their school board meetings. And here we are, special meeting agenda. So they're going to open the meeting and, call the meeting to order an open session. Everybody will get a chance to speak. Then they will go into executive session where they are going to consider and deliberate the administration's recommendation to propose termination of the term contract of a campus assistant principal pursuant to Chapter 21 of the Texas Education Code. That's where they will consult with their legal counsel, and then they have to come back out into open session to consider and take possible action, if any, regarding the administration's recommendation to propose termination of the term contract of a campus assistant principal pursuant to Chapter 21 of the Texas Education Code. So that's it for tonight. There has been a lot of discussion on Hill County Rant and Rave. People are pretty upset about this. And this is where accountability is going to happen. I did sign up to speak.
How you doing, sir? Know where we're at here? Know your name already. I can't see. Out of my comfort zone.
me get the nameplates of everybody. Whoops. Sorry. Oh, this is not open all the way. I see.
All right, it is Thursday, April 23rd, 6:01 p.m. We're going to call this meeting to order. Start off with a roll call.
Richie, board member. Nicole Corson, board member. Amy Hoffman, secretary.
Charles Buzan, president.
Ray Watson, vice president.
Brett Marvin, board member. Adrian Marino, board member.
All right, that's everyone present. That's the quorum. Public comment. Do we have public comment? All right. Okay, I'm going to read this one time for all public comments here. After this every board meeting, we have public comment. The public comment agenda item. During board meetings each month, the Whitney ISD Board of Trustees schedules public comment. This is an opportunity for residents of the district, parents, employees, and other individuals to participate openly in board meetings. There is a time limit. Each person is limited to 3 minutes for their presentation. Acceptable comments. In addition to public comment, individuals will be allowed to comment on agenda items. These comments will also be limited to 3 minutes. Any direct criticism of a specific employee is prohibited and will be considered separately as provided in board policy. Board response. Trustees will not deliberate or make decisions about information provided in public comment. The item may be passed on to the district administrator or placed on the agenda for consideration at a future board meeting. And today, our first public comment is,
I'm gonna hold up a 1 when you're going, when you have 1 minute left, and I'm gonna do a 3 when there's 30 seconds left.
and if you do have public comment, if you just come down here to the end somewhere where we can hear you, whoever it might be. First public comment is gonna be Alyssa Hill, a parent, and regarding potential dismissal of administrator.
Members of the board, I understand that Hampton is concerned. Anytime a child is involved in a physical incident, it should be taken seriously. I also want to show that this issue is personal for me, as my nephew was one of the children involved. So I'm not speaking lightly about what happened or the need to keep children safe, but we also have to look at the full context. When a student is actively hitting or pushing other children, the adults in that moment are responsible for keeping everyone safe. That responsibility doesn't come with a pause button. Decisions have to be made quickly, in real time, and with limited options. I also think it's important to recognize where things stand today. The student involved has returned to class and is continuing their education, which reflects our commitment to supporting children as they learn and grow. At the same time, the administrator who stepped in to stop the situation remains on leave. That contrast raises an important question about balance. Are we responding in a way that supports everyone involved, including the staff that we rely on to act in such moments? The question before you is not whether the situation was ideal, because it wasn't. The question is whether the administrator acted with the intent to protect students in a difficult moment. If we expect staff to step in when students are being hurt, we also have to be willing to support them when they do. Otherwise, we risk creating hesitation in moments where quick action is needed to prevent harm. And I think we've all seen that recently on the news. There's a difference between poor judgment and protective action taken under pressure. I ask that you consider that difference carefully. Our goal should be to learn from incidents like this and improve, not to punish someone for stepping in and keeping children safe. Thanks for your time.
Next is Amy Teal. It's going to be about voting in Whitney in response to how the board votes tonight. How does the board vote?
So yes, this particular agenda item includes a vote by the board. And the other side of that vote by the board is the vote by the people. 2 of you are up for election right now. So if you guys out there have not voted yet, early voting started on Monday. And you have 3 candidates up for this school board election. Nicole Corson, Connie Terry, and AJ Marino. Nicole and Adrian are up here tonight. So if this particular issue is vitally important to you, you can take how they vote into consideration And then at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can go down, right down the hall, bring your photo ID, in and out in 5 minutes, and you can cast your ballot regarding how you feel on this. You can also go through and Google Whitney Board Book ISD and see all the minutes from the last several meetings that have included issues and votes, like this one. So do go vote. This is going to be a very, very low turnout election. If you want your presence at meetings like this to really make an impact, you have to follow it up with action at the ballot box. So I'll have some sample ballots that you can grab during the executive session if you want. This is also online. And follow their board book meetings. Whitney ISD, unfortunately, has not done a lot of informational outreach about this election. I hope that changes next year. Thanks.
Okay, next we have Ms. Reddy, supporting for Mr. Slaughter.
I'm right here. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're great.
Everybody can hear me. I hope. I will speak very loud. You all know me, 26 years on this campus. I've been through a lot of principals. I've been through sometimes having an assistant, sometimes not. And if you know me, my first thing will come out of my mouth is that I'm here for the kids. What is best for the kids? Every decision should be that. And what is best for the kids is Mr. Slaughter, hands down. What a complete difference him and Amber have come in and done for our campus. They complement each other. Our morale has gone up. And I am now actually very proud to say, I've always been proud to say I'm from this campus, but I'm especially proud now. The joy that I just feel coming in and knowing that I'm gonna get supported every single day with whatever decisions that I have to do to get the job done. Now, I'm a lister of facts. Mr. Slaughter is here every day. I think there's only one day he has not been present in our school. Every single morning, the man comes and checks in with every single teacher in our doors and the students. Also, we touch base and get it out of the way in the morning. Responds immediately whenever I have a situation arise. I don't even have to call him, I just send him and then I send a message and he's on it. He has earned the respect from the teachers and the student and the staff. He's made invaluable connections to this community with parents that we had a hard time connecting with. He's connected with students that we have sometimes a hard time to connect with. Protects is his number one. Sorry. He makes it a safe environment for us and the students. I feel very safe being here. And when he disciplines, he teaches lifelong lessons of how they should present themselves in the future. He doesn't just discipline and leave it at that. He's teaching them how to be productive as they grow up. And if you ask me if I feel safe, yeah, 100% feel safe. So Mr. Slaughter has, without a doubt, proven himself to be the most effective, genuine, heartfelt man that has truly made a difference in these kids in our campus. Mr. Slaughter is here. When he is here, your child will be protected. And I fear that if we do not have him, our school is going to cycle back to where it was. I'm going to say.
Next we have Ms. Sarah Thompson, support for Dr. Slaughter.
I thought it was important to stand up here tonight and show my support for Dr. Slaughter, a man who has made our campus a better place. I'm in my 3rd year of teaching, and he is the first assistant principal I've had who consistently puts both staff and students first. From supporting me through difficult moments at the start of the year, to building meaningful, nurturing relationships with students, especially those who need extra patience and care, his impact here is undeniable. Dr. Slaughter brings years of experience, but more importantly, he leads with a genuine heart for children. If anything is at risk today, it's not Dr. Slaughter losing his job, which he's already overqualified for. It's our school losing an invaluable and irreplaceable leader, and our staff losing a strong support that we desperately need. I sincerely hope you will take this into consideration.
show support for Stephen Slaughter.
My name is Krista Falwell, and I teach at the intermediate school. I've had the privilege of working with Dr. Slaughter since he joined our campus as vice principal mid-year last year. The positive, safe climate on our campus since his arrival has been obvious to anyone who spends time here. He has made positive connections with many of our students and families since he's arrived. Each morning, he can be seen touching base with kids. He checks in with students that might be dealing with issues at home, haven't had a meal since the previous school day, are dealing with recent incarcerations of a relative, or the separation of family members, all before they even begin class. He is constantly seen moving throughout campus, checking in classrooms, checking on individual students. His walkie-talkie is always on, and unless there's another fire being put out, he is on the way if assistance is needed when a student elopes. A group of students are being consistent in their disruption, or an altercation occurs and more assistance is needed. His dedication and passion to do more and be more for so many of the students he interacts with is something that can't be taught. We are lucky to have him and his experience in a time when many great educators are leaving the profession. It is an honor and a privilege to work with Dr. Slaughter.
Next we have Michelle Infante supporting Dr. Slaughter.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Infante, and I am a teacher at the intermediate campus. I have been an employee since 2014. I am here today to speak about our assistant principal, Dr. Slaughter, and the incredible impact he has made on our school community. I've only had the opportunity to work with Dr. Slaughter for about 9 months, but in that short time, I have seen firsthand the difference he makes every single day. He truly goes above and beyond for our students, and it does not go unnoticed. One of the most incredible things about Dr. Slaughter is the relationships he has built. Our students respect him in a way that is rare and meaningful. The respect didn't just happen, it was earned. It comes from him showing up every single day. Every morning greeting, every check-in, every conversation he takes the time to have with the student during their difficult moments. Every praise he gives for the growth that these students have had this year, it all matters. I see it in my own classroom. There are times I simply mention his name, and my students immediately correct their behavior, not out of fear, but out of respect. I've had students tell me, "No, Miss Infante, don't go in. I promised him I would fix this." That right there speaks volume, especially in the world we experience daily. These students care about keeping their word to him, and that says everything about the kind of leader he is. Dr. Slaughter has a way of supporting both students and teachers at the same time. He holds students accountable, but he also shows them compassion and helps them understand how to make better choices. And just as much as teachers, he stands behind his teachers, making sure that every day we feel supported, heard, and valued. Our administration team as a whole is phenomenal. Dr. Slaughter is a huge part of that. Together, they have helped create a positive environment for our campus. I've heard plenty of parents say things like, "There has been so many positive changes," and my favorite, "My child finally loves coming to school," because every child should love being at school and feel safe. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of people who show up and put in the work every day. Our campus is successful because of teamwork. We are a team. Every single person plays a role, and when one piece of that puzzle piece is missing, it has a real impact. Dr. Slaughter has an essential part of that team, and that impact he has on our students, staff, and school community is something that truly matters. Thank you for your time.
Okay, next up we have Curtis Helms, TBD.
I yield my time. I have nothing to say.
Okay. All right.
Sorry about that.
You're good. He said he yields his time. He has nothing to say. Next we have Sarah Lathers in support for Dr. Slaughter.
My name is Sarah Lathers, and I'm the mother of a student here at Whitney ISD. I'm here tonight to speak about my son, Calvin. Calvin is bright, creative, and a kind child, but he struggles in ways that aren't always visible. he shuts down. In those moments, he can't always find words to explain what he's feeling, and that's often misunderstood as defiance and not paying attention. But that's not what it is. It's a child who feels overwhelmed, a child who feels unheard, and a child who has felt isolated in a place where he should feel safe. That's why Dr. Slaughter's impact has meant so much to our family. He didn't just see Callan's behavior, he saw him. He opened his office to Callan and gave him a safe place to go when everything felt like too much. He became Callan's voice when he felt like he didn't have one. When Callan felt isolated or misunderstood in certain classrooms, Dr. Slaughter didn't ignore it. He stepped in and did everything in his power to help improve Callan's day-to-day experience. Because of him, my son started to feel safe again. He started to feel understood. He started to believe that someone at school truly cared about him. And as a parent, that meant everything. Dr. Slaughter didn't just support Callan, he supported me too. He communicated with me, he listened to me, and he showed through his actions that he genuinely cares about the kids and the families he serves. This isn't something new. I was also a student of Dr. Slaughter's over 20 years ago at Hubbard Elementary School. And I felt that support back then, the care, the dedication, and the way he shows up for his kids. It hasn't changed. This is who he is. I understand that there's situations being reviewed, and I respect that process. I'm not here to speak on anything I don't have knowledge of. But I am here to make sure you understand that his presence has meant for a child like mine. Because for like Callan, one safe person can change everything. One person who listens, one person who shows up, and one person who makes them feel like they matter. So no matter what decision is made, I ask, please don't let that kind of support disappear. Because when you finally find someone who sees them, and we take that away, we don't just lose a staff member, we risk losing that child too. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have, Brian Liao, is that correct? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And is about the intermediate principal use of force.
Eden, how are y'all?
Good.
Well, I can't figure, I guess, getting to hear a couple of these people go before me kind of helped me out a little bit. I've heard a little bit about the situation. I haven't seen the video myself, I just heard accounts of it. And based on what I've heard and what I've seen from schools and other districts, these teachers don't get the training they need to handle situations like that. And I understand that. Some of these people, a lot of people are quick to judge without knowing the full story behind it, or what would they do in the same situation. I think that judging him solely off of the video in which you're sitting there having moments to process and minutes to think about, well, I would have done this, I would have done that, is it disjudges him. I don't know how much training he's had or hasn't had, I can assume it's probably not a lot. But from what I've heard from people before this, he was a great principal or assistant principal. And after listening today, these people taking time out of their afternoons, their busy schedule to come out here and say things on his behalf, things that sound well thought out, written out, and they've put a lot of heart into. And I think that's just something that should be considered when y'all think about the disciplinary actions going forward. Not just the incident, but the training you received before it, and what you would do in that situation if you had seconds to think about what to do with other children being hurt. That I was going to get to. Good afternoon.
Next we have, Jason Mercer, dismissal of administrator.
Hello, it's kind of hard to follow up all the other people that come up here. I have, I guess, family and children in all 4 campuses of Whitney, second generation of family going to Whitney. My son, one of my sons was directly involved in the incident that had happened, and I received a phone call that day. And of course, talked to him afterwards. You know, I can't go off a 10-year-old what they're going to say, but from what I was told by him and several of his other friends in the classroom, or what happened in the gym, it was a pretty chaotic situation. So his main thoughts, and it's kind of hard to process when a 10-year-old tells you that he was just glad that somebody stopped it, that Dr. Slaughter stopped the situation. So that's why I'm kind of here thinking that, you know, to have somebody, and I'm not going to comment on, you know, what the teacher should or should not have done, or what was, you know, I wasn't there. I didn't see the video. But when my son tells me that, you know, it's kind of concerning that I hear that, you know, now this teacher or this was going to be reprimanded for that. when he was the one who finally ultimately stopped the situation entirely. To enough to where, my son felt like, hey, this issue or this situation was handled to where we didn't have to worry about anything that happened to us. So I think that's that's a great person to have on campus as we live in a world that's crazy. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, they are 10-year-olds, but who knows? It could have been. She could have had a pair of scissors. Something else. It could have escalated a lot worse than it did. And having somebody to intervene, maybe was the right way or not the right way. I agree with the gentleman before me that in that situation you only have split seconds. So I just ask that you guys take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Maggie Messigill, the character of Dr. Slaughter.
Thank you. Anybody that knows me knows this is not my character to stand up here today and talk. And I do not have the notes written like everybody else does. We can all tell that Slaughter's character and his relationship with his students and his parents is something that we have not had in a long time on my campus. I've taught 25 years, 15 years here in Whitney, and he's the first person that I've had in a while that I truly feel supported. He walks in the halls, he supports us, he supports his students. I have students daily asking me, can I please go see Dr. Slaughter? Can I please go talk to Dr. Slaughter? I need to talk to Dr. Slaughter. Daily, they want him, they need him. In the world of teaching, we're supposed to be worried about, can the kids read, can they write, can they do math? That's not the teaching we have anymore. Now, on top of that, we're worried about, are the students eating? What is their home life like? The most important thing that we all think about is our students' safety. And we treat our children, our students, like our own. These are our kids while they're in our care. And what would you do? What would we do in that situation? Like they have said, split second. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how you're going to react. We teach, we counsel, we guide, but most of all, we protect. And I believe that he was protecting the other students. We have always told my own personal children, my boys, that you are a book, not a page. That one moment, one decision you make does not define who you are. Please do not let this one decision define his character. Thank you.
Okay, before we go into closed session, I just want to thank everyone who's here today. Really want to thank everyone who got up and spoke and had a public comment. That's not an easy thing to do, to stand up and talk in front of everyone. Appreciate everyone's passion and what they have to say for Dr. Slaughter. Thank y'all for being here. At this time, it is 6:24, and we will now go into closed session.
Okay, so now we go wait in the hall, and then they will come back into open session to take their final vote. Sorry. I encourage everybody to stay till they come out of open session and take their vote. They have to come they have to come into open session to take their vote.
That's okay. No, he just had some crud. Hey guys, I encourage all of y'all to stay until they come out of session and take their vote. They have to vote in public and open. Okay, sorry, let me fix my stream. Okay, drag a few more people back inside.
We can go back inside?
No. Some people were leaving because they thought it was over. And I'm like, it ain't over yet.
Amy's not gonna let nobody leave.
That literally went up my nose. Oh my God. Okay, so, oh yeah, Stephanie Cooper. Okay, so actually you can still come down here if you want to. They have to come back out of executive session into open session. Everybody will come back into the room and then they vote. So yeah, and this is where you vote. You come right down here to this room and vote tomorrow at 8 a.m. I was trying to move back out of the way. Yeah. Look at this. There's 84 people. It was up to 99. You don't really have that many people watching a school board meeting. Okay, so I was talking in my public comment about the election. We have an election happening this week. So early voting started Monday from 8 to 5, and we are now past Thursday, so Friday, April 24th from 8 to 5 is your next opportunity to vote. And then Monday and Tuesday. We do not have weekend early voting. If you can only vote on a weekend, then Election Day, next Saturday, May 2nd, Kentucky Derby Day, is your opportunity to vote. And we have 2 incumbents who are on the school board who are up for re-election. Nicole Corson and AJ Marino are in there now. They will be voting tonight on this topic. Connie Terry is the only person who has filed. Now this is for 2 seats on the school board.
I just feel like it's on my heart to just, if you're comfortable with it, I just want to say a prayer over us. It's a big decision. And there's a lot of lives impacted either way this goes. And students that are at the forefront. So if you're comfortable, I just want to say a prayer.
Right away, girl. Come on.
Lord, first and foremost, I want to lift up our board to you right now as they prepare to make a very important decision, a very big decision. Lord, I ask for conviction on each of their hearts that voices would be heard tonight, that they have sound judgment, that any opinions, biases would be pushed to the side so that they can focus
and that wisdom would fill their hearts. Lord, I pray for our students, each and every single one of them. And Lord, what was beautiful today is how much they really do love each other and how fast they are to forgive. So Lord, I pray that we would have that same respect. I pray for hearts tonight that are aching, that are worried, that you would just bring peace. And then on the other side of this, Lord, that our campus, the school, and our community comes together just a little bit more. Father, thank you for how you love us and how you lead by example. That's in your name we pray. Amen.
Okay. So, right? Okay, so, yes, there are 2 seats that are up, and this is a pick-2 election. The top 2 vote getters will get a seat on the school board when they meet back in May. They'll be sworn in. So you can pick 0, you can pick none, 1, or 2. And then if you live inside the little 2.7 square miles of Whitney City proper, you can vote on our school board election, on our city elections. We have 3 council seats that are up and 2 incumbents. And we actually have 2 candidates here tonight. Rigo Farias is our park board chair. He worked for Army Corps of Engineers a long time. And then Jason Sneed back there, he was on school board and resigned so that a family member could be hired. And Brent Marbut was appointed by the school board to take his place. So he's up for a unexpired term. So that's it right there. We usually have a very, very low turnout. Whitney ISD had about 5% of their registered voters show up to vote in the May 2025 elections. City of Whitney had 13%, but when you're a little town like us, that's still only 190 people voted out of 1,400. So these local elections are won and lost by just a handful of votes. I won my council seat in May by 3 votes. Our mayoral race was flipped by 2 provisional votes, and the current mayor won by 1 vote. And this is not a unique Whitney thing. This happens in every city, especially small cities across the United States. Municipal races are just, there's not a lot of people who think their voice matters, but it does, especially in decisions like we're seeing happening in that room over there. So get people to file to run, get people to go vote. This is where you guys get to make the difference when you don't like what their decisions are. Maybe they'll vote to keep him, in which case you would want to go and make sure they get reelected. Your call. But this is the time to make that happen, and it's a very slim deadline. Looking at the comments down here, Kimberly Rue, what is he accused of? We are not privy to a lot of the details. It sounds like it would be a use of force in the classroom. And you know what? Let me find the post real quick. Okay, this was shared on Rant and Rave. A decision is about to be made that will send a clear message of whether Whitney ISD supports those who will protect our children without hesitation. Today, Thursday, 4/23 at 6 p.m., the Whitney ISD School Board is holding a special meeting to vote whether to accept or deny the superintendent's recommendation to terminate an administrator who acted quickly during an incident of violence to protect other children and staff. What message would a termination of someone who protected our kids send to other staff in the community? Parents should consider attending the board meeting tonight, probably 30 minutes tops before they go to closed session. Your presence alone would show that this community supports strong leadership and is a firm stance against violence in our schools. So, that was on Rant and Rave. And yes, they do have to come out of that closed session into an open session and let everybody back in before they vote on this. They cannot just vote in secret. So far, this video has 1,297 views, and we haven't even gotten to the vote yet. So please share it with other families in the Whitney ISD area so they can keep track of what's going on. And if you are in the Whitney area, check out the WAVE, Whitney Area Voter Engagement Group. I created an event page for this, and I do try to follow the, especially the city and school board meetings. And for the record, Facebook is deleting streams after 30 days. So this video will be downloaded and put on my YouTube channel. If you are just some weird, boring political nerd, you can go to my channel and take a look at all the different political meetings that I've been streaming. Previous board meetings, city council meetings, stuff like the data center town halls. There was a Hill County Data Center Summit, this one right here, Hill College Data Center Summit. That's all on my page. Amy Teal for Liberty.
Is that her? Oh yeah. That's the
All
They're all full. I'm like, I was like, guys, this is everything thank you. And they're like, no. Okay, okay.
It's a lot cooler on the floor too. I just
So a lot of people have moved outside just because it's cooler out there. Body heat in the hallway makes a big difference.
We're like the hardest bosses. So let's appreciate it. It's not just like, it's me. And everybody was like, no, no, it's not you. You're too nice. You're not me. And they were like, it's me. If it was off of fighting skills, it'd be Courtney.
Okay, you 100 people that are still watching are crazy, but okay. There's still 100 people watching this stream waiting for the vote.
What's it like on?
It's on my page.
You just get to send me a calendar.
This one, Amy should vote this session.
Okay, thank you. I want to know what they are saying. Be nosy. I want to know if the minority just didn't show up.
Yeah.
Or the majority just showed up. Like the minority, the minority.
Yep, yep.
I arranged everything that I remember.
Probably is the first one.
Yeah, the kids are every single time. This person's me, and I'm like, but you say that all the time. What am I ever doing? Well, you did that whole thing last year. Anytime I'm like, I'm gonna give you
Thank you.
You're gonna go home and say, this annoyed me the whole time. This is gonna be like,
Not me. I'll get fired like the first 10 minutes I'm here. I'll get fired for it.
I'm going to move up to the table. See, a lot of people are outside. It is just really hot in here, but people are sticking around. I'm watching the door. Catherine, I see your comment. What did the teacher do? Apparently there was an incident in a classroom where one student essentially lost it and started harming other kids. I do not know the specifics. I have not seen a video. This is all hearsay on my part. But since the violence was escalating, the teacher ended up physically restraining, I believe, the student. So this is basically a use of force policy thing, I guess. I am not advised on the exact details, but they want to terminate his contract.
Every year, the kids all sign up really quick. The adults.
I did my part. And then some. I did my part.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. I do agree. I feel like adults are harder. Yeah. I read. But you do a better job. That's what you do.
Prepare everybody to do, you're trying to do your job. Prepare
Yes, that's what I said. Just don't let her. Oh, no. We all work 6 months. That's what I said earlier, is like we're all just sitting on this side of the wall and the AC.
Hey, Jason. I do a lot of streams. There's still 107 people watching through executive session.
And it's been
I have
40
never
minutes.
had 100 people.
Right.
The most I've ever had was back when I was streaming the 2016 Electoral College.
So they went in at 21 after, but to be fair, everybody wasn't out until about 26, 27 after.
Right.
So we're now at 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm. This already has 2,000 views.
Right? Either way, it's going to be immensely impactful.
Yes.
Okay, Joni, I see your comment. I know it can seem odd, but in instances like this, this is the kind of situation where the entire incident is very, very, very limited in figuring out what the public can and can't have. So, and I can tell you that from being on council, the attorneys' suggestions are always to shut up and don't offer any extra information.
And this second one, 5 minutes later, boom! He
Kristen, I am not advised. I do not know if Dr. Slaughter is in this meeting or not. Thank you, Jane. I'm going to read this into the record because when I put this video on YouTube, the Facebook comments will not travel with it. So Jane Hill says, he physically detained a violent student who had already physically harmed several students in the gym. My grandson was one of the students harmed. He had first-hand knowledge of what happened. This student was throwing other kids into the bleachers. Many had to be treated by the nurse. Dr. Slaughter stopped a violent situation and kept other kids from being hurt. I am happy he was there and stopped the violence. We need more like him to protect our children. Green Eyes, I see your comment. I am not advised as to whether there has been any legal action.
he was chasing a little bell.
And for all of you guys who are coming onto this stream late, the beginning of the stream was at 6 o'clock, and there were several people that signed up in public comments to speak, and all of them were in favor of Dr. Slaughter. Well, mine was mostly voting, but I don't know Dr. Slaughter. I didn't know the situation, so I stuck with what I know. That being elections. Tomorrow morning, no matter how this vote goes, regardless how this vote goes, everybody needs to come right back to this building and vote. The polls open at 8 o'clock. We have 3 school board members on the ballot for 2 school board seats. So if you like their vote tonight, vote to keep the incumbents. If you don't like their vote, vote only for Connie. I don't know if she would have voted a different way. But how you vote matters, and it sends the district a message.
And so, yeah, if you can't vote tomorrow, then Monday and Tuesday are your last days for early voting, and election day will be Saturday, May 2nd. And if anybody watching is not in Whitney, you need to be aware that this May election is happening all across Texas. There are cities and school districts that have different elections on their ballot. So check your ballot, check your county elections department, see if there are any elections happening for your city or your school district, and get the ballot and go vote. These have super low turnout. Green Eyes security guard is still standing in front of the door. See? He's ready. And if you are within a few minutes of the ISD admin building, feel free to swing on by. When they come out of executive session, you can slip on into the room. Oh, Green Eyes, I see your question. Where was the security guard when the student was acting up? Unsure. There's 119 people still watching and waiting for the vote.
I see your face with your name. figure out what you
Those are pretty hot texts.
You got a guy.
Yeah, taking the old laptops out. You guys should be helping. Okay? You're coming, right?
No, you get them up. I got the other end.
Yeah, you already show you everything. So you already know you're good to go. People be coming to ask you.
Catching up on comments, I was marking off the days that we've already voted. Nicole Tanner, yes. This is the first year since we have these e-poll books with the elections department that if you want to vote in a local election, there are 3 polling locations in Hubbard, in Hillsborough, and in Whitney. And so, yeah, if you work out in Hillsborough and can't, and you're not here between 8 and 5, you can run by the Covington Annex that's just behind Brookshire's and by the driver's license office or tax or registration, whatever it is, and you can vote there on your lunch hour. So I think that's really handy. Stefania, who made the recommendation for termination? That's apparently coming from the superintendent, according to the agenda. Roxanne, was the child provoked prior to attacking other children, or is that known information? I have not heard anything about that yet. Second question, was there a way of de-escalating the situation? From what I've heard, he tried de-escalation tactics until he got to restraining. But again, I'm not advised. I have not seen the video. We're at 7:30. They've been in executive session about an hour now. And there's still a lot of people here. They're waiting outside because a lot of warm bodies in the hallway was making it really, 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 really hot. So there were a few people that were leaving because they thought it was over, and so I ran out to the parking lot and dragged them back in.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like say, well, we started talking about those science guy. I don't like about photosynthesis. Ask any questions. Michael benefits of every question.
Your environment was a lot different. And that's why I have conversations with kids about
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so since I've got time to do this, this is Flat Stanley. Y'all know this story, right? So Flat Stanley is from the Jasper Dubois County Public Library, Ferdinand Branch in Indiana. So I've been dragging him around to Whitney events and Whitney places, and I will be posting a bunch of pictures of him on the on their pages. So if y'all have never done the Flat Stanley thing, try it out. It's kind of fun. Jeff, I see your comment. I tend to agree with you. I agree, Jeff. In fact, I was part of the open carry movement in Texas back when we only had CHL, and we pushed it as a legislative priority in the Republican Party of Texas State Convention, and went and testified multiple times in the state legislature for open carry and constitutional carry, and we finally have constitutional carry. Well, it's kind of an unpermitted, permitless carry. It's not really
You know, there's still a lot of places that we're not allowed to defend ourselves, and that seems to be where all the shootings are happening. So we still got a ways to go. This ain't my first rodeo. Usually the board's eating dinner.
A few years ago, I guess he was probably 3. And he was still thinking, that's crazy. That's gonna kill me. That is crazy. Really, it's whatever. No kids are stupid. I'm like, how do you question this? Let me make this. I need your dad.
Okay.
Yeah, come on in.
I'm boiling under here.
I can imagine. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, right here on the air conditioning, man. I feel good. Got chill up in this, man. I'll sit here. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so we're back. They're coming out of executive session to take the vote. Flat Stanley is now attending his first Whitney ISD school board meeting. And there's still a lot of people here.
Maybe movie star.
Woohoo! There's 109 people that have been watching this through the executive session waiting for this vote.
All right, it is Thursday, April 23rd still. It is 7:42 p.m. We are now back in open session.
I'd like to make a motion that we table this until a later date.
I'll second. Ray Watson made the motion to table that to a later date. I'll second that motion. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
AJ Marino made the motion to adjourn, seconded by Brent Marvin. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
So you all have to be ready to come back for the next meeting.
It's 7:43.
Go vote tomorrow morning, guys. Okay, guys, so they have voted to table the item. That's not surprising since two of them are incumbents and on the ballot. Joni, I do not know. Heather, it's usually because they are hoping for fewer people watching and or get it past the election. Less fallout that way. Just throw it on the ground. Okay, there we go. Sorry. It's still streaming. This is a great phone case. Okay, let me go get my drink. Is this, I have to ask, is this Dr. Slaughter?
Yeah.
Dr. Slaughter, I just wanted to say hi. There have been 115 people watching this stream through the executive session waiting for this vote, and a lot of them have asked, is Dr. Slaughter there? Is Dr. Slaughter there? And I was like, I don't know who Dr. Slaughter is. So yes, this is the Dr. Slaughter in question that you heard a lot about during the public comments, and I know he probably can't say anything specific, but if you wanted to say something to the camera, you are welcome to.
Thank you all for your support. In spite of however you may feel, I'm here to do God's work. I believe that. It's just not a mantra. I live that. But thank you guys for watching.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. So yeah, you just have to watch for the next meeting. It's the Whitney ISD board book. If you Google that, you'll find their meeting notices there. And they have to give 3 business days notice before they can hold another meeting. But basically, everybody has to be prepared to show up for the next time that this comes up, probably after the election. The election is Saturday, May 2nd. So this will probably not be scheduled over the next week. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off now. All right.